People have preferences when it comes to the firearms they use. In situations like self-defense or home defense, the effectiveness of a gun in taking down threats really matters the most. Handguns in particular have been used in over 60% of defense incidents, according to a 2021 National Firearms Survey. Choosing the best handgun for self-defense can be a little tricky, considering the vast options we have right now. But before you start your hunt, you must think first of what calibers you are going to use for this matter. What's up, everyone? This is Kelly from On Target. In this video, I am going to list down the best and most effective handgun calibers for self-defense, weighing their pros and cons based on their stopping power, controllability, and even price. Before we get underway, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I know it is a chore, but these simple clicks help my channel immensely. Now, let's return to the video. 380 ACP. I will start with our favorite little 380 ACP cartridge. Similar to the 45 ACP, this one was invented by John Browning himself. Interestingly, Browning designed this caliber to become a more powerful version of the 32 ACP and 25 ACP. It was also meant for civilian use, right from the get-go, so don't get flustered if it doesn't have too many historical ties with the military. This is just my take, but I highly recommend a 380 ACP handgun for personal defense or concealed carry. It doesn't have as much firepower as most of its counterparts, but it's still an excellent utility for defending yourself against aggressors. Many police agencies in the United States have issued 380 ACP pistols as backup guns, with others even using them as primary duty firearms. One reason why it's a good defensive pistol is because of its low recoil. If you are a woman, elderly, or someone with an arm injury or grip strength problem, a 380 ACP pistol is probably the best option for you. It produces less recoil than the 9mm, which, by the way, has a low recoil already. This particular quality made Ruger LCP pistols a popular hit in the gun market. Furthermore, it's important to emphasize that 380 pistols are very easy to conceal and lightweight. After all, you don't need large guns to chamber 380 ACP bullets. That's a huge point for concealed carry or self-defense applications, and you shouldn't worry about their cost. 380 ACP ammo and handguns are sold at relatively cheaper prices than their larger counterparts. But there's an exception, though. Even though they aren't as big and powerful as the 9mm, 380 ACP ammo are still the more expensive ones. Hence, they are not suitable for practice. Moreover, there's a limit on the capacity of these 380 ACP pistols due to their size. You would be lucky if your aggressors would turn back after one warning shot, but if they don't, you better have extra mags with you. 45 ACP. If there's an all-American cartridge, that would be the 45 ACP. After all, this one is designed by the man himself, John Moses Browning, who also created the equally legendary 1911 pistol. Needless to say, the 45 ACP was incorporated into the overall operation of 1911 guns, and until now, this design is still venerated. But it's not just the 1911 platform that has been anchored in the 45 ACP. Tactical guns, such as the Smith Wesson M&P, Sig Sauer P220, HK USP, and the Springfield XDM, are all chambered in the 45 ACP cartridge. And while it's true that the U.S. Armed Forces have long veered away from 1911, existing SOCOM units still use 45 ACP firearms. For self-defense, the 45 ACP is still a capable cartridge. Primarily, this has to do with its large diameter bullets and significant expansion. Now let me explain those points a bit. Since .45 ACP offers bullets that are heavier and larger than their counterparts, their travel speed isn't that much. So, is that a good thing? From a standpoint of controllability, it's a goddamn yes. After all, the felt recoil produced by a 45 ACP pistol isn't snappy, especially if we are talking about full-size models. Those pistols are really flat shooters, which highlights how controllable 45 ACP guns are. It's also a well-known fact within the gun community that the 45 ACP ammo bullet expands really well. Based on tests, the 45 ACP starts its expansion with a diameter of .452 inches. If you use hollow points, the diameter can expand up to an inch, which signifies the kind of stopping power a 45 ACP bullet can bring to the table. But of course, I have to break it to you. The 45 ACP isn't the cheapest option out there. It's more expensive than other self-defense cartridges such as the 40 Smith & Wesson or the 9mm. And because they are huge, the 45 ACP cartridge causes an evident limitation on capacity. Most full-size 45 ACP handguns only have capacities that range from 7 to 15 rounds. Some people don't see this as an issue, but for actual self-defense situations, more ammunition may mean more opportunities for survival. 40 Smith & Wesson. The 40 Smith & Wesson, or 40 S&W for short, was first released in the market around the 90s. Of course, the first gun that used this particular .40 caliber was the Model 40-06 of Smith & Wesson. There's a bit of history in the creation of the 40 S&W. The 10mm, which is a parent cartridge, was crafted to become a more potent and effective option than the 45 ACP and 9mm. But after several years, the FBI deemed that the 10mm was too powerful and too difficult to control, even by trained agents. So Smith & Wesson was commissioned to create a weaker version of the 10mm, and that gave birth to the 40 S&W. Many guns quickly adopted the 40 S&W, such as the Glock 22. Ammo in 40 S&W has proven its worth in street reliability and effectiveness, regardless of whether they are used by law enforcement personnel or civilians. Popular options like the Federal Premium and Spear Gold Dot show the prowess of the 40 S&W caliber. At the same time, many are still impressed with the expansion of the 40 S&W. All I can say is that self-defense handguns chambered in the 40 S&W are effective in making huge expansions after contact with their targets. Of course, this fits the bill of a guaranteed stopping power, which you may not experience when using narrow calibers. Despite its impressive defensive qualities, there are still drawbacks to the 40 S&W, especially in terms of pricing. Historically speaking, this ammo is more expensive than the likes of the 9mm, making them not suitable for practice purposes and daily use. At the same time, it can be argued that the recoil of ammunition in 40 S&W is significantly greater than the 45 ACP or 9mm, meaning that it requires a good gun and a well-versed operator to make the 40 S&W ammo excel in self-defense. And finally, 9mm. The 9mm's domination in the handgun market is not a case of sheer luck. There's a reason why it simply edged out other calibers to become one of the most popular calibers right now. The first and the most valid reason is its penetrating ability. A projectile is considered effective when it can pierce through an object or body deep enough to cause significant damage. Whether it's a two-legged or four-legged threat, the round should be able to reach their vital organs and cause massive blood loss and internal damage. Other calibers can do this feat, but the 9mm bullets have proven their worth in this particular matter. Second, the terminal effectiveness of 9mm can easily outclass even the premium 45 ACP and 40 S&W projectiles used by law enforcement agencies. Yes, 45 ACP rounds may create larger holes, but their wound channels 9mm create are still effective enough to cause serious damage. So if you are trying to defend yourself against a threat, a 9mm handgun would certainly help you inflict lethal wounds. Of course, let's talk about the 9mm recoil. Compared to all the calibers I listed here, the 9mm recoil is considerably tame. Accordingly, the recoil of the 9mm is about 30 to 35% less than a 40 S&W cartridge, which means that 9mm handguns are easier to shoot than their counterparts. You would be able to track your sights back to your target faster, as long as you are using a 9mm. And right now, many firearms manufacturers have been able to produce high-capacity 9mm pistols. Even subcompact 9mm handguns have a minimum standard capacity of 10 rounds, and full-size models boast up to 21 rounds or more in their flush-fit mags. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more gun videos like this, just click the subscribe button and notification bell. Take care and stay safe.